What do you think of my shirt? Yeah, I love me some animal tracks. I'm in big buck country. This is a login trail coming through some real thick, like old growth pine. There's got a bunch of cedar, a lot of cedar in here, tons of red cedar. And there's some hemlock trees. Very few white pine trees in here, mostly hemlock and cedar right in here. So, and it's going from all that hemlock cedar stuff and mossy covered forest to hardwood. Right here is where it transitions. Got a transition zone hidden from the eye. Like you don't know that's in the big forest. These are the hidden transition zones that a lot of hunters don't realize that are out there in the big, thick forests. If you find these spots, a lot of times you're going to find deer droppings, deer tracks, buck rubs, old buck scrapes. So you can see all that green deciduous growth. You got all your coniferous trees over here, and it transitions right in front of me. It comes to creates like a line right here. The logging trail does go up left, up in here, goes up here. Now let's see if we can find some deer tracks, deer droppings, something fresh. See what we can find here. Waiting for guests, huh? So we got all this real soft dirt. It creates a good track pad. These are good spots to come look for tracks. And you can age it, see whether or not they're fresh, a day old, week old, a month old, whatever. It looks like it opens up to the top of the ridge here. This is a cutting here. A logging operation took place here, and there's we got it. I'm being interrupted by they flew overhead. Some type of hawk. We got a hawk overhead. You can hear. I'm sure you can hear it. Let's look for some fresh tracks and droppings here. I want to go up that way. Alright, let's go this way. I wonder if I can turn my view around so it's off of me. I'd like to show you guys. I think I can switch this around. Oh, look at that. I can. Sweet. Love these iPhones. This is the new iPhone 14 Max Pro. These are great phones for doing this sort of thing on. Let's see, we're still recording 3 minutes in. Yeah. Alright, so let's see if we can find some deer tracks. There's some old ones right here. I'm gonna head right up there. Of course I got a cold. The end of right down below. And this ridge gradually slopes upward. It looks like it clears up top where the logging took place. Looks like they opened up the top here and made a nice little clearing. And here, I'll show you what it looks like down below. So here's where it come from. That ridge goes this way. So we got a ridge. Down below the ridge, that way, not too far, is the wetland. A swamp with a brook running through it. This area holds promise for big bucks. I'm looking for those old rubs from last year. Yeah, we got old tracks. Old deer tracks here. A freaking cold sock. All snotty. What do we got up here? I wonder what we have up here. Wow. Oh, it looks like a mess. I had a lot of old tracks. See what we can find. There's things here the whitetail would love to eat. Got some wood sorrel here. Show you the wood sorrel. This stuff here. This is wood sorrel. And we can eat it. It's edible to humans. So this is wood sorrel here. It's kind of in the clover family, sort of similar to clover. Looks like clover, but it's heart-shaped. It's more tangy-ish. It's more citrusy tasting. We can eat 99.9% of the grasses in the world are edible to humans. Humans can consume over 99% of the grasses. That includes like your clovers and your wood sorrels, which I just showed you. There's wood sorrel all through here. There's some ferns. There's certain species of fern that the deer love to eat. There's some moose maple leaves, little moose maple saplings, some ferns, wood sorrels, a bunch of greenery, a bunch of herbaceous vegetation that the deer can eat up here in this clearing. There's food here. We got water down below, a bunch of little watering holes. And there's bedding zones here, areas where a big buck could bed, where he'd have a vantage point, see all around him, have that 360-degree view, and be able to get his, check his back side through the wind, from the wind blowing over his back. A buck could be bedded close by here right now. I mean, I know for a fact, though, I'm really close to the bedroom of a couple really big 8-pointers. Definitely one is 4.5 plus years old, maybe pushing 5. And there's a good 3-year-old in here. And I've just gotten on my Moultrie Edge cellular trail camera. I got some pictures of a nice 2.5-year-old 8, heavy racked 8-pointer for a 2-year-old, but just a 2.5-year-old nonetheless. But there's several. There's probably 2 plus 3.5-year-olds. There's one old boy out here, one that I'm really hoping to get this year. I'm hunting for this big bruiser of a tall, wide-racked 8-point buck. I don't know what he'd be this year. I mean, he could have grown into a 10-pointer in his prime, in his older age, at 5 years old. I'm almost positive he's 5.5 years old this year, at his peak, at his prime for antler growth and for weight. So I'm really hoping to set eyes on him, get some video of him, and I'm very hopeful that I can get a shot off at him, get a chance to harvest that magnificent buck. He's a brute, and I know I'm close by where he lives because he comes from this area out here in November in that chasing and seeking and chasing phase of the rut, and during the rutting period, late October into through November, he's always coming from this general area out here, heading down to the doe groups that I got my cameras on and watching. I've getting plenty of doe pictures and yearling buck pictures on my cellular trail cams, but occasionally at like 3 in the morning or sometimes close to midnight, one of them big, more mature bucks come by those cameras. I've already gotten a few of their pictures, and they're coming from this bigger country. There's these bigger woods up here on these ridges and hills, and these swamps down below me here. So there could be one bedded real close by here, over here where it's cooler. We had a nice, real cool breeze this morning. It was like 55 this morning, nice and cool, brisk, cool. But I mean, given the temp right now, I'd say the deer are still up and feeding. It's not even 10 o'clock yet. Let's look at the other phone. It's 10:45 a.m. I firmly believe the deer are still up and feeding. It's not super, super hot. In my experiences and from what I've witnessed, visually seen, and just from trail camera data and everything, the deer will go and bed up early when they at the heat of the day, when it's real hot. When it reaches 70 plus degrees in the summertime, into the 80s, they could be bedded by 10, and they'll head for those swamps, those mossy covered, dark shaded, cool parts of the forest to bed, lay up for the day, or to hang out. They could still be on their feet, moving, milling around, drinking, feeding, but they hang in these cooler, more denser, dark, cooler, mossy covered forests in the heat of the summer. I mean, now that we're getting those cooler days at the end of August, those bucks they're starting to move a little more. They're showing up on my cameras. They're showing interest in the doe groups and finding out where all those doe groups are. They're obviously getting inventory on their own. Obviously, me, the hunter, is taking inventory and mental notes of where these doe groups are, where the does are hanging out, where the bucks are coming from, going to. Those bucks, they're doing a similar thing with those doe groups. They're figuring out where they like to hang out. They're starting to show a little interest in does right now, especially deeper later into September. Come October, that pre-rut's gonna start. You're gonna start. There'll be a lot more rubbing. They'll be rubbing on trees. There could be scrapes showing up as early as the first week of October. There could be some scraping going on. I mean, that fluctuates year to year. Some years there are early scrapes showing up early in October, and some years I don't find a scrape until late October, or even sometimes not till November. I mean, it's just all depends. So there's gotta be some fresh track nearby here somewhere. It must be. All right. What is that? Actually, what is that? Huh. What do we got over there? All right. So is that a fallen tree or a tarp of some kind? I wonder what we have over here. Oh no, just a dead tree. Let's check out this ridge. We might find some fresh sign in here. Some deer tracks here. There's a nice moose maple. This is actually a striped maple tree. Look how big them leaves are. Bigger than my hand. people call them moose maple, but it's actually a striped maple tree or hunter's helper. They're great. These leaves, a bunch of these, handful of these leaves are in a pinch, is a great emergency toilet paper. Hence, hunter's helper. So a lot of locals around here, old timers in Maine here, like to call it hunter's helper or moose maple because it's so big. There's a lot of it in here. A lot of striped maple and a lot of birch. Those are your hardwood trees. Some maples and birch trees out in here. There's a lot of... Oh, I think I just found a trail, guys. I'm on some type of deer trail. They're coming down. Yeah, it's all tracked up right here. Heading down that way. Yeah, there's some sign here. Well, I've been going live for over 16 minutes now. I should probably close this out. Alright. So we got another skitter trail right out here. Another deer track there. Another skitter trail coming down through. Yeah, we've got... So there's a skitter trail back behind me that I just left. Let's walk through the woods to another one. There's probably another skitter trail up here from the logging going on. This is a beautiful ridge. When the leaves are all off the trees over here, I can see the swamp down below. So come November, I'll be able to see further down into that wetland swampy area off this ridge. I'm not necessarily going to hunt in here at all. And I already have stands set up. I already have most of my hunting spots picked out, and those spots, those locations are chosen based on years and years of hunting here and of studying the deer's travel patterns through the years, and those areas not being disturbed by logging or other human disturbances at all. They're places that I stay right out of. What I have near them for a trail camera is a cellular trail cam. It sends the videos and pictures right direct to my phone. I do not need to walk out there to pull SD cards and disturb the area, leaving human scent behind, jumping up deer and boogering out those big bucks. I can leave those spots right alone and just do all my scouting from my phone, from those Moultrie Edge cellular trail cameras sending the data to me. So, and they're deer sanctuaries where I have my stand location set up. They're places that I do not disturb whatsoever, and no one else disturbs those places. And the deer, they bed right behind my stand. Where I shot my buck this previous season, he was bedding behind my stand in October. I'd seen him go to his bed, and then later that evening, hour before dark, he'd come out, walk 30 yards behind my stand. I'd never had a shot with my bow, and he'd walk on. He was bedding right, and I went on to harvest him in November. And there was does bedding behind me, and then coming out in the evening, 2 hours before dark, they'd get up out of their beds, come out under the stand and by my stand. So they're little deer sanctuaries, places I stay right away from. I know to stay away. I already know the deer bedding is there, and the buck rubs are there. And bucks using the area as bedding, water, food, everything they need right in those areas where I have my stands and my cellular trail cameras. I just leave them right alone. Come hunt season, I don't get in and go in there and disturb anything until I'm ready to shoot. But places like this that I've never hunted and never scouted and learnt I can disturb it all I want because I don't plan on hunting in here necessarily. It all depends on what I find. But there's a trail here. Here's a deer trail. I was kind of walking and following a deer trail. So I found the deer trail cutting this ridge coming along. And it's not at the very, very top. It's kind of saddle, kind of midway down on this ridge. Well, no, I'm at it on a plateau right here. So this ridge comes down and it plateaus, it flattens off. And then right where it starts to flatten out and head that way to another drop off, there's a deer trail on this little saddle, if you will, or bench. I guess you'd call it a bench. The ridge comes up, it benches out, flattens out, plateaus out, it makes like a bench, and then it gradually slopes up again. And there's a deer trail right on that bench or plateau. And it's beat right down. They occasionally come through here, does and yearlings. I'm sure the occasional big buck does pass through here at some point in time. Oh yeah, all kinds of sign. Check it out. Oh wow, yeah, it's beat down right here, guys. The trail's coming right through here. Oh yeah, and they're hopping over this. Yeah, look, they're jumping over. They're walking right through there. It's nice in here. All right, everybody. I think that's 21 minutes. I think that's plenty of time for live. I wouldn't want to sit on a phone watching some old man's video for 21 minutes. Oh wow, this is beat. Wow, this is a good trail, guys. Holy, hold on. Yeah, this is a good trail. You can see where the hooves, here, look. Through the years, the hooves, the deer, they're knocking this down. Look, they're beating this old rotten log to a pulp as they're walking over this. Look, you can see it's all undisturbed leaves to the left and right, and it's beat down. You can see fresh earth and dirt and roots exposed, and this log beat down. And the moss is off. No moss on the log right there. They're walking right through here. That's a nice trail. Yeah, this is a really good trail, guys. This would be a good spot for a camera. And actually a cellular cam. This is a ways in here. I would not want to have to walk back in here to switch SD cards every week or so. So this would be a good location for one of those cellular trail cams. And you'd want to face it up or down, face it on the trail headed so that you can get those deer head on. You can get pictures of their headgear, those bucks coming and going up the trail. If you face your trail cameras facing sideways to the trails, you could get a lot of rear end pics. Those deer could come flying by, and you might not get any pictures of their heads. It might just be a lot of rear end pictures, and you won't even know if it was a buck or a doe. So you want to face those trail cameras away, face them going up or down the trail, so you can get the pictures of those heads of those deer. So see the headgear on those bucks, so you know what you're dealing with. Wow, this is a good trail. I might find some droppings. Yeah, this is a heavily traveled spot right here. So this is where they like to travel through here. This would be like a good place to hike into for real early morning with one of those saddle stands. Those get up in a tree with a saddle stand stuff. Keep it real light and mobile, easy to travel. Keep the gear. Oh wow! Oh wait, the trail kind of splits. Yeah, this could be a good spot for later in the season, late October into November. Come in with a saddle stand, Get up in one of these pines. You got some maples right here. There's a couple good maple trees I could put a saddle stand in. So we got so the trail goes this way and this way. It splits right here. So we've got the trail goes this way, or a trail heads that way, and one goes this way. It splits. Trail V's off right here. Some deer go wander that way, and some wander that way. All right, I should close this out. Let's check this out in here. It's nice in here, though. Oh wow. Huh. Yeah, that's a good trail, guys. This is a really good trail. Oh wow, it's really nice in here. Oh, this trail goes right up through here, and it is beat to a pulp. Wow. Oh, that's a heavy, heavy travel trail. This is a really good trail. This was a good find. That is a nice trail. You gotta check it out. Yeah, there's some deer traveling through here periodically. Cool. All right, I don't want to keep you guys any longer. I want you to get out there scouting your properties. Learn those deer travel patterns, travel routes. Find those bedding areas, feeding areas. Find those places that have a lot of deer sign. And I just found deer droppings. So the deer are spending some time. This may be a bedding area. Okay, so looking around here, I think I may have stumbled upon a bedding area. You're going to find a high concentration of deer droppings and brow sign and flattened grass, flattened divots in the ground where the deer bed and lay down through the years. And I think I'm right in a deer bedding area right here. I'm deep into the forest off the edge of a swamp. We've got deer droppings down below me right here. Heavy travel run. So the deer could lay right in here. If I get down at deer's level, I can see 360 degrees around me, see any approaching danger. I could lay with the wind in my back so I could smell any potential danger from behind and just scan my surroundings from left to right. This is a great area for deer to lay. Let's see if I can even find an old bed. Here's the deer droppings. Deer droppings right here. Some tracks, deer tracks right here. See it. See the deer, if they were bedded in here, laying down, they'd be able to see really good through the forest, a long distance off, all the way around. They'll scan the surroundings. So this is a potential bedding area. Don't know that they are using it for that, but they're spending some time here. If there's droppings all over the place and it's tracked up, heavy, heavy travel run, beat to a pulp coming through here. Yeah, there's some deer activity in here for sure. All right, everybody. Yeah, that's enough. I gotta sign off. Hey, you go out, scout your hunting areas. I want you to go to prep for your deer hunts. Oh, that's a nice deer track there. Till next time, everybody. Hey, stay safe. Get out there and hike your hunting areas. I don't recommend you disturb your honey holes where you know for a fact there's big bucks hanging out. Don't go hiking through those places. Go scout some brand new land that you've never hunted before, because there's a good chance you're not going to hunt there anyway, but you never know what you'll find. And you might be able to put the game plan together to shoot a big trophy buck later into the season. So go head out there and check out those new properties, those new parts of the forest you've never been before. All right. Okay, see you guys next time. Yeah.